What's up, friends? It's Full Firecore. Welcome back to Team Builder Tutorials. Today we are going to be showcasing a team built off of a Marini. Now, Marini is the baby version of Toxapex, the OU staple, aka the Pex, because it has them big pecs. But in all seriousness, I decided to build a stall team for PU. Let me head out so I can show you this is PU. Yep, a PU team. So I decided I wanted to build one focusing on Marini. Now, Marini is a PU mon, as you can see right there, but it is also a little cut mon. And I used it instead of little cut. It was pretty cool, using in PU, and it was really cool too. I made this at my grandparents' house, and it was pretty fun. I made some people rage quit, which I usually don't do. Probably because I don't play stall. But this is the first time I've ever showcased a stall team, so I'm going to try to go in depth with how this team works. Alright, so this is Marini. It has some weird emojis. I'm not going to talk about that. They're kind of just funny if you don't talk about them. But this is pretty much Toxapex's child. It has almost the exact same moves that a normal Toxapex would have. It doesn't have knockoff, since I don't think that's too useful. And it doesn't have normal toxic. Toxic spikes and toxic, just normal toxic, are kind of interchangeable. Personally, I think I want to turn it back to Toxic. I was testing it with Toxic Spikes, and it was working. It's just, this Mon isn't as tanky as its evolution, being Toxapex. Especially if it's Evilite, it's pre-evolution stone that makes its special defense and normal defense go up. If it's pre-evolved, go up. If it's knocked off, you are very weak, especially at Earthquake and all that. And that makes it so you can't get too many Toxic Spikes up, so I think I'll just run Toxic. But yes, this is Marini, the child to Toxapex, being a physically defensive nature along with a physically defensive build, I think is optimal. Moving on, we have the especially defensive Musharna with a very weird EV spread. I just made this so its special defense goes up to 300. No real reason why. I just thought it's a good number to have it at. Alright. So this Musharna focuses on Calm Mind Future Sight. It is absolutely walled by dark types, steel types, anything like that. But Future Sight is a very annoying move. It takes 2 turns to activate and is very strong, being 140 base power. So you can set up Future Sight and then just like Moonlight up, Heal Bell, and go for Calm Mind to keep yourself defensive. So I have a couple months here to try and deal with steel types, but I probably should add another mon that has some steel type killing answers, since steel types are quite annoying, especially for this team, like Mawile, but I have a mon to deal with it. Anyways, I actually decided I wanted to run 2 Heal Bell mons. I'll show you the other one later, because stall teams are very susceptible to being, well, just toxic to death. So that's very important to have Heal Bell. The next mon we have is the Specially Defensive Tangela. Now, Specially Defensive Tangela is an absolute brick wall when it comes to like flamethrowers, especially like Thunderbolts, since we have a Marini and also a Togetic. Thunderbolts are very common, especially with like a Amolga, which I've actually seen quite a bit inside of PU, going for choice specs. I've just seen Heavy Duty Boots, Defog, Volt Switch. This is kind of like the ultimate counter to it. So having the Regenerator ability, like its friend over here being Marini, it can just switch out, and it's really annoying. This was the mon that most people gave me the most heat for inside of the Showdown chat, because they got really annoyed with this thing coming in, eating a hit, and then switching out. Having Giga Drain, it can heal itself back up, Knock Off to be annoying, Leech Seed and Toxic to be even more annoying. Yeah. As I already said, especially defensive nature, personally, I think is going to help me out a little bit more. I tried to run physically defensive, but people just hit me with flamethrowers, and I didn't fall like a twig, but I took more damage than I would have liked, which is fine. I have counters to that. Well, kind of. My physically defensive Marini is probably not going to take a Fire Blast too well, though, even though it's pretty tanky. Next, we have the Stunfisk. Now, this is the stealth rocker for the team, since I think that's quite important, and this is also the one answer to steel types. Having Earth Power, it can kind of soft check it, kind of. Well, kind of. And it also has Discharge with the static ability, so it can try to paralyze those Steel types, since Steel types kind of wall our whole toxic gimmick. It also has Pain Split, since this Pokemon does not have access to any type of recovery. I think Pain Split is a pretty good thing to have on it. But this dude's existence is kind of just to set up Stealth Rocks and then discharge like an asshole. Next, we have the Appleton. Now, very recently I made a team involving a AV Appleton, which was pretty cool, but he lacked a very good recovery. Since Giga Drain was the only thing he could do, he just had to kind of sit there and eat attacks. I think the Leftovers Thick Fat Recover set is far superior in every way, but you know, it was fun to use the AV set. So this Appleton has pretty much all of the moves that everyone uses. Apple Acid, Dragon Pulse, just in case they have Sap Sipper, sorry. And then Leech Seed and Recover. This is a specially defensive Appleton, which I think is far superior in every way to physically defensive, since this dude's existence is to eat up Ice-type moves and Fire-type moves. Having Thick Fat makes Ice-type moves and Fire-type moves damage get cut in half. So instead of times 4 damage from Ice-type moves, you take times 2 damage. Or you still take times 4, but that gets cut in half, so, you know, pretty much times 2. It's a very strong Mon, and quite funny to use. And finally, we have the Togetic. Now, Togetic is a very cool Mon. Since it has the Super Luck ability, it can crit more often, and I've gotten a few crits with Draining Kiss that have surpassed some people's, bypassed, some people's buffs, like special defense raises or stuff like that. And Draining Kiss is a very annoying move to have on this Mon, since it is quite tanky. Now, I am running a physically defensive set right now, since I wanted to test it out. It was fine, but there's no real reason to use it, since I think this Mon is a lot better suited as a special defensive wall, but I don't know. I'll probably switch it up later, who knows. But this Mon has Heal Bell as another Heal Bell user, like I already said, very important to get rid of the ever-prevalent Toxic and Toxic Spikes. Defog to get rid of Toxic Spikes if you don't want to get poisoned by them. And Stealth Rocks and all that kind of stuff. Roost, of course, and Draining Kiss, like I already said. Now, Evilite is another crazy item to put on this, and we actually have 3 boys here, being Marini, Tangela, and Togetic, all with Evilite. So we have a bunch of younger people inside their lives, and that's exactly what PU is. It doesn't really matter if they are top tier OU threats, because they don't have to be. They don't even have to be top tier PU threats, because some of these mons aren't even PU. Are they? Yeah, Togetic I don't think is PU. It's probably PU. But all these mons are quite good, and I spent quite a long time working on this. Not too long, you know, like a day and a half or something. And that's more than I usually spend on team building and testing, since I like to make them and just test them out. That's what I do. And then play them immediately. But that's the team. To go over it again, we have the Toxapex, Marini, trying to do the exact same thing. Especially defensive Musharna, which has Future Sight, Calm Mind. The Wall itself, the Tangela. The Stunfisk, which is the Rocker. The Absolute Wall, the special defensive wall again, being the Appleton, and then we have the Togetic, which might be specially defensive. Don't know. Probably change that later. With a bunch of Heal Bells. Since if Musharna dies, we got Togetic, sorry. But I hope you guys enjoyed this team builder tutorials. Really want to showcase my PU Marini stall team. And keep on lookout for my next videos, because this video will come out pretty soon. Well, in relation to when it's recorded now, probably like a week, just to have a couple videos into the back. And then probably close to when this video is uploaded, you'll be seeing the Marini video, the Marini Showdown All-Stars. Or I'll just try to post it faster. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and keep on the lookout for my teams and my videos.